Okay, so we'll begin now. We can use both. We can use the
previous question.
previous one and this in a combined manner. So we'll first take the Mulaka Sutta. That will be AN 8.83. If you open that up, it will be very easy.
नहीं मुझे okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's okay. If you're not opening up, also it's okay. So now we can then come to this question what you had, how the craving and feeling goes together.
Whirlpool.
Okay. So first we'll understand through this and then we'll come there. So let's say I've gone on a walk. Okay. Now when I'm walking, I'm not really interested in one particular object. It's just, I'm just going on my walk. There's no particular thing. I want to see this, I want to see that. When that is not there, then the chanda is not there, the interest is not there. So interest is the root for everything, whether it's interest in the material possession, interest in job, interest in family life, also interest in nibbana. You need to have that. If there is no interest, nothing can be got, and hence it's a root of all things. Okay. So generally when I'm walking, my interest falls on something. Let's say a particular tree or a particular field or a particular park or a particular path or particular whatever that is. In our case, we have got interested in Buddha Dhamma. So we have got interested in Buddha Dhamma. Okay.
Or the other part is I saw a woman and I just focused.
Yes, whatever. So it can be anything including Buddha Dhamma. It's all interest, right? There can't be anything beyond the interest. So first thing is that we need to have interest. So if somebody were to ask, what is the mulaka means root. So kim mulaka avuso sabbe dhamma, it is chanda mulaka avuso sabbe dhamma. Avusa means friend. Okay, so then hey friend, can you tell me what is the root for everything? So dhamma is the thing. Okay, it's not an object, but it's a thing. Everything that we call as a thing, we mean to say that what we make as an object, one step before that is a thing. It is a thing which is converted into an object. Okay, now
mental object.
It's a mental object. It's not physical object. So now
when you see a tree, it gets reflected in your mind as a tree.
It gets reflected not only as a tree. It will reflect in three ways. First, it will reflect itself as a tree, some tree. Second, it will reflect itself as, do I know that tree?
Okay.
Third is that, what is this tree?
Okay.
These three things. So the first thing is a tree. Then second thing is that,
I know it.
Do I know it? I say, yeah, I know it. I've seen this somewhere. So the memory goes back and picks it up. And the third one is, what is this? That what is this is the nama and rupa. You will get restless to know what it is.
And second thing is that I was calling it curiosity.
Yes, curiosity. Do I know it becomes curiosity. And once you know it, you feel happy. I know it. Good. I know it. But the other person, if he is not interested, now you see the chanda coming there. Chanda mulaka. If the other person is not interested in the tree, he will not even bother about it.
Yeah, so do I know is replaced by I don't need to know.
That is where that what we can say neutral feeling arises.
Upekha, I'm not needed.
Upekha. So in a non-Dhamma person or an ignorant person, he will be indifferent. He is not truly in upekha. He is not in equanimity. He is not interested. Number one, because of that, he will be indifferent.
So here I will give you two examples. Let's say I am walking in a park and I am rotating my head and I am seeing 100 things. Only I got one lady. But there were so many trees, so many birds, so many flowers. But I was upekha to those things, right?
You are not upekha. You are indifferent for all the other.
All other thing indifferent.
You are indifferent and you are different for this woman.
You are different for this. And now let's say, in my place there is an arhat, and he also rotates his head. Now, what is his attitude toward those trees and birds, and his attitude toward this woman?
It's only 5 elements.
It's only five. Okay, so no indifferent, but he's seeing it as samanupashyati, 5 element.
Yes, he
Okay.
knows this is dhatu. He knows there is no woman. He knows there is no tree. He knows there is no bird. It's just a conventional usage.
Yeah, if you ask him, he will tell everything in detail.
Yes, he will tell. Absolutely no problem, because he is tamatva, equanimous.
Yeah, for the questioner, he will get the detail.
Yes, if he is an arhat and somebody goes and asks him, are you an arhat? He will smile, because if he says I'm an arhat, it means you are establishing nama and rupa.
Now he's not a dhatu.
Okay. So he will just smile. Okay. Then if somebody asks, is that a tree? He says, yes, it's a tree. But you are an arhat, how can you say it's a tree? He says, I am using only for conventional usage.
Because you asked me.
Because you asked me. So this is covered in beautifully between Nagasena and Milinda.
Milinda.
Milinda Panha, he asked this question that, oh, you are a Buddha follower, very good. So you are going to now say I am a 32 part of the body and all of this, and I am not interested in listening to all of that. And in fact, I don't believe it, because there should be somebody, and you are saying there is nobody. So you mean to say that the liver, the intestine, and blah blah, all that is doing things by itself? There is no person. Then he asked the same question to Milinda. Do you have chariot? He says, yes, I do have chariot. So without going on the chariot, can you go anywhere? He says, no. So now you tell me, which is the chariot? Whether the wheel is a chariot, whether the seat is a chariot, whether the horse is a chariot. Then he gives so you add all of that to say that there's a chariot. I am also saying that Nagasena means that this is 32 parts of the body, but as such nothing exists. It's just a conventional usage. Then he says, very good, Nagasena, I accept to what you say. Now let's look at this. The chanda, interest, is there in everything. So first comes chanda, and because there is chanda, there is focus.
Manasikara.
No, not manasikara. Just focus.
Just focus. Attention.
And that attention is manasikara. Okay, you got the point.
Yeah, focus and attention and focus are different.
They're different. So you first focus. Now I'm focusing. And then comes, what is this?
Attention is like you have a microscope and you are changing the power.
Take a camera. Focus is just making zoom in and zoom out. That is focus.
And attention, in terms of camera?
Attention is pressing on that shutter.
Oh, click.
You're not clicked. Wanting to click is manasikara. Okay. That is attention. Now it is attending to that. So
finding the perfect moment. And
now either I am taking the girl, or I am taking the building, I am taking the bird, I am taking the tree, I am taking whatever. So now it is locked. That object is locked in me.
And everything else is excluded.
Exactly. Now you throw it away. Now you don't want anything else. You want only
everything
that.
All manasikara has happened like we are doing. This is happened naturally. Everything else is removed from the picture.
Yes, everything else is removed from the picture. So now only this portion is there. Okay. Now I become aware of only that portion, which is the sati. So my attention span, which is only for that. So my sati is michha sati, because I've excluded everything else
Wrongly.
right? So now he asked this question, why did I do it?
Interest.
How it happened? Because of the interest to know this, I have created a manasikara there. Manasikara sambhava. Sambhava means how did it happen?
It happened because of interest. Okay.
Okay, because of interest. So manasikara sambhava.
Okay,
sabbedha.
because of interest, this process of mansikaro has happened automatically.
Automatically. Now whether it's yoniso manasikara, ayoniso manasikara is separate thing.
Whereas in case of Chula Sunnata Sutta, these things we have to do.
Yes,
Differently.
you have to amanasikara of that and expand it.
Which is out of your typical interest. You are building a interest.
Correct. So now the question comes. Okay, now I understand. So on the road I'm going, I'm seeing something. So now you're saying, because manasikara, attention. Now, how did that attention come to be? There was contact. Without contact, there's nothing that can be experienced. So, how did it arise? Samudaya is arising. How did it arise? Phassa samudaya, sabbe dhamma. Clear?
That woman should, if in the park there is no woman, there is no question of this
There's no
story.
question of it, right? So now the samudaya happened. Now we can go to DN15 to see how this whirlpool will work.
Whirlpool.
Now, whatever I have seen is mine because it gave me
Pleasure.
feeling.
Pleasure feeling.
Yeah, pleasurable feeling. So then he says, okay, now that is fine. Kim samo sarana sabbe dhamma. Vedana samo sarana sabbe dhamma. Okay. Now that samo sarana creates a whirlpool between the craving and the feeling. So just like when we were discussing in the car,
And then it expands.
like that rat experiment what you were talking about. Now once it presses, the food is coming. Second time it presses, the food is coming. The third time it presses, the food is coming. The fourth time it presses, the food is coming. So now it feels. You take this Vedana, that every time I press, the food is going to come. Tanha, craving. So what it does? It thinks I'll press it, the food will come. But now what is happening is those scientists are not giving it food. But it doesn't know. The rat doesn't know. So it keeps on pressing. But the food is not coming. So after it panics, it is now in a panic situation and the food comes. So it is relieved. Then again it presses. Again there is a panic. Again the food comes.
Yeah. Now every time he has to press 3-4 times. Randomly it will come.
So two feelings are got. Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana. Got it? And both are coming out of craving only. Now whatever you crave and whatever you feel because of that craving, you are going to go behind it, seek for that. And this is where we were talking about dopamine. That chemical, that hormone is released when it's a reward center.
When food is came.
And food comes. Whatever food it can be, mental food, physical food, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The food comes because the dopamine is released. Again the food comes, again you feel it.
Yeah, and it is safety for him at one of the point, no?
Yes.
Arakkato. Now he's secured.
Now it is secured. Arakshan in Hindi and in Sanskrit. Arakha is in Pali. Arakha means to protect. So I put a field to protect. So when we marry, we protect. So we put a structure. So marriage is an institution where you put a structure that nobody can now claim that this lady is my wife. and she's my possession now.
Safeguarding your
Safeguarding.
craving.
Yes, I'm craving. So now I married her.
This whole whirlpool you are safeguarding.
Yes, I'm safeguarding the whole whirlpool. I married this woman because I couldn't tolerate just seeing it once. I want that feeling have to be coming all the time. So whenever I see, I feel, the feeling comes. Whenever I see, the feeling comes. Just like the rat.
Yeah, and for that I'm ready to go for job and everything.
And now I am ready to do anything. Forget the job. I'm ready to do anything for getting that experience. So I don't want to let go of that experience. Like that with everything.
Got it.
Okay. Now this is samo sarana. So Vedana is always samo sarana. Sarana is to go around. Samo sarana is equally going around, rowing around, going around.
Whirlpooling and expanding.
And expanding. So now now let's look what he says. Then how do you now objectify it? How do you now be in that? How will you be in your wife? You have to be in samadhi. Otherwise you can't. So whenever the wife comes, or whenever that object comes, so samadhi pamukha sabbe dhamma.
That michha samadhi that you are enjoying, let's say you and your wife in a room, the room is locked, now everything is secured, now you can enjoy each other. This is samadhi.
This is samadhi. So that is the chief.
Chief. Samadhi is pramukh. Sabbe dhamma.
Correct. So now if I take my walking,
you are absorbed in the object. That absorption is samadhi. Now you are totally excluding everything so that you can enjoy the sex.
Yes. Or
that
whatever.
Is samadhi.
Yes. So during sexual intercourse, the person forgets the whole world.
Yeah, it's samadhi. It is samadhi.
It is samadhi. And hence it is the most interesting thing in any person's life. Because all the five senses are together.
Yeah, even when someone is eating food, he's so much enjoying it, we can see it.
Correct.
That he is excluding everything.
Yes, he's excluded everything. So but here in sexual act, there's a difference. In the food, only one sense has taken over, the remaining sense have not.
Okay.
But in sex,
all the five.
Seeing is there, hearing is there, touching is there, tasting is there, smelling is there.
And mind.
Mind enjoys all the five now. There is nothing called as separation. Just as soon as I see the nude body, okay, it creates that samadhi. Nobody has to teach me what next has to be done. So now that body feeling is gone, instead that enjoyment feeling has taken over.
What is that samadhi? Pamukha or what?
That is a pramukha.
Samadhi pamukha. Okay.
Pamukha. Okay. Now, when that person is in samadhi, what should happen? He should be in sati. He should be mindful. So what happens here? He is holding that woman and he is completely immersed in it. So first he was absorbed in it, then he is immersed. Now nothing is going to shake him.
Absorbed and immersed, what is the difference?
Absorbed is that he is absorbed with that five senses.
Okay.
Immersed means he becomes mindful of that what he has absorbed. Right? Till he ejaculates, it's like that.
He is mindful or only some guys are mindful?
No, every person will become mindful. So
of this act.
Michha sati. All are michha only, but it is worth it. Worth it for that moment. And hence, sensuality also has this, but it is so...
Can you explain how he is mindful in that?
How is he mindful in that? That in his activity he is mindful, right?
Yeah, he's not distracted in that way. Yeah.
No distraction.
Okay, he has empowered the distracts. He has won the distraction from that act.
Yes.
Okay, so he's mindful.
Now when he is in that act, anybody is seeing, he's not bothered. Right?
Mm.
Or she is not bothered.
Mm.
Or both are not bothered.
Mm. There is no saying, there is no nothing.
Nothing,
No
right?
tape, no atape.
Nothing. So they are just immersed in that.
Yeah.
Immersion.
डूब जाना है ना?
Yeah, that's like a jhana only. So you're immersed in that. So when there is an immersion, sati has to be there.
Okay.
Otherwise, there can't be immersion. So when we do the jhana, you are also immersed in that. You are totally wet in that. Clear? So now we come to that portion of it. So mindfulness is the ruler. Okay.
How is the ruler?
Because it is ruling it. No, till he is mindful, he'll enjoy. The moment the mindfulness is shaken, let's say somebody rings the bell. Now what happens? The panic starts.
Okay.
And he's
like a king of the country. जब तक वो खुश है तब तक लोग कुछ भी कर सकते हैं.
No, that is samadhi. That is a ruler. So the samadhi is broken. When the samadhi is broken, the sati is also broken along with that.
They are parallel, going hand in hand.
They are going hand in hand. So the immersion is not there. Now that he is come out of his immersion, then he will say that, oh, which idiot here, now he has to press the bell. Oh my goodness, I have to get up. So
if you would have been strong in sati, he would have ignored that bell.
Yes, he would have ignored that bell.
But he couldn't ignore that bell. Now samadhi is broken.
No, because samadhi was broken, he could not do that.
Okay, that way.
Okay. Now immersion, mindfulness. In English, they have put here as immersion. Okay. Now we can make it as whatever we can say, absorption, immersion, because in English you have shortage of words. Samadhi is a state when you are completely involved in it, minusing the outside influence.
Yeah. This object become primary.
This object become primary.
And now, subject is diminishing and object is increasing.
No, you take hold of that object completely. There is no separation between you and that object, and hence you are in samadhi. When we take into the sati, mindfulness, it means that the person is wet, he is completely in it, and he is attending to that, he is aware of it.
Yeah. He's unshakable from that.
Yes, he is unshakable from there, right? Unless the samadhi is broken, sati is not broken. Okay,
got it.
So after this, what happens is that then, let's say, Panyuttara Sabbe Dhamma. For what? So he says that Kim Uttara.
Uttara means going beyond, right?
Going or north. Actually,
in that time it is north, but they might have used north as going beyond, I think.
Going beyond the experience.
Yeah.
Suddenly he got the wisdom, panya, that this is nothing.
This is nothing. वही जो ओशो ने बोला ना, संभोग से समाधि.
Sambhog se samadhi, yes. Now he feels that there is nothing. What am I doing?
This is junk.
This is junk. This is only body rubbing. There's nothing else. All of this was my imagination.
And all happiness was coming from me only.
Yes, it was coming inside me, not inside that lady.
Yeah, from that lady.
Yes, from that lady. So I come out of it. And I enter into the jhana. Because now there is no need for that object.
So you drop the object.
I dropped that woman as an object. Now I am on my own object, which is the jhana. Right?
Jhanic object.
Jhanic object.
Or nothingness and
right. All that what we spoke yesterday.
Okay. You have taken the subtler object now.
Correct. Then the gross object. So then Panya Uttara is going beyond what was experienced,
Beyond the object.
beyond the object. So the person stops engaging in sexual act because he feels feeling Vedana, Samosarana, Sabbe Dhamma. But the Panya has come in its place. So the Sarana is gone.
Because of the panya, yeah, it is cooling down now.
Yes, so the Vedana is cut off. And Vedana cuts off means the craving also is cut off. Right? So the six sense bases no longer can sustain because there is nothing there. There is no thing. Right? So that jhana, seventh jhana, what we were doing yesterday.
Then he realizes that he can pick any object and then go to jhana.
Yes, he doesn't require the woman as an object to get into
He can
jhana.
take flower as an object and go.
He can take anything or he doesn't have to take anything. Right? So then akinchayatana happens to him.
Nothingness.
Nothingness. There's nothing in there. If that happens, vimukti sara sabbe dham. Now you're released from that bondage of objectification. So now there are no objects. You're always in that Nibbana. Okay. So the Mahanidana Sutta, if you really see, he talks about how this whole thing circles between the Vedana and Tanha and Vedana going together.
He explains the Samosarana.
Yes, he explained the Samosarana in the below when we looked into it. And the exact replica he is explained in the Mulaka Sutta. So Mulaka Sutta is a very shorter version of the Mahanidana Sutta.
Okay, now the same thing, Chanda, when it comes to Virya, right? The effort of meditation, or you have to do something, you have to develop. For that, we start from precept. We then enter into samvar, right? And then enter into meditation object. But in one of the sutta, it says Chanda, then Usaho, then Tulna, then Padana, Paddahati, then you find the truth. This is the domain of Virya. How where one can. So, Chanda, regular Chanda was that I have a sexual desire. That is a Chanda.
No, that is Kama Chanda.
Kama Chanda, which Kama Chanda, that Chanda, when I was randomly looking in the tree, caught up a woman. But now I need to develop Chanda for Nibbana. Right? So, so that's I was saying, setting of the intention. When we do precept, every moment by moment, when we say Panati Patta, so we are developing Chanda, right? It is creating the Chanda, which was naturally happening. Now we are inducing the Chanda, right? When we say set intention, see, setting of intention is the very big word in spirituality. Everybody use this word, set the intention.
Chetana is the intention, not the Chanda.
Yeah, but setting intention के equivalent कोई पाली वर्डी है. We can't do Chetana. Chetana happens.
No, it's not like that. So
Let's say I tell myself, I will not steal, I will not kill. What is that?
Wait for a second. So, you need to read, before, if you were to talk about this, you need to read a sutta called as Chakkavatti Sutta. Okay. That sutta explains what you were before all things started. Okay. And you have to combine that with Aganya Sutta, what we were reading when we were coming in the car. Okay. If you add these two, A plus B, you'll understand how things work, basically. Right. Now, a question arises whether the intention comes first or the interest comes first. It's always the interest, not the intention. Intention has a karma bija, right? The seed of karma is there, seed of the deed is there. Whereas in the chanda, unless it is associated with something, it has nothing. It's just an interest. And there's another sutta where some monk asks Sariputta that you are saying you should have interest and then you are saying that you should drop interest. How is it possible? It is like you cannot do it. And then Ananda gives a simile, and then Sariputta is there and Ananda is there, and Ananda gives a simile, and then that Bhikkhu says, yes, now I understand what you're trying to say. There's one sutta for that. Anyway, let's not go deviate the topic. So intention is Chetana, then the interest is Chanda. Now with Chanda interest, it's towards the six senses, six sense basis, Ayatana. It becomes Kama Chanda. Clear? Okay. And that becomes Chanda Raga. That creates an intention, Chetana.
Okay.
That is what Sankhara is all about.
Okay, so you are speaking to the Pali word Chetana, intention.
Correct.
I am talking about different intention. I will give you example. Say, when there is a guided meditation happening, and someone tells me, now watch your breath. Suddenly my focus comes to my breath. Now watch how long is it? Whether it is long, whether it is short. Now I start observing it.
You already answered your own question.
So that telling is not Chetana.
No, you already answered that question. It is the Mulaka is Chanda. Whenever somebody said you watch your breath, Chanda. So you are interested in the breath.
So someone is creating an interest in me.
It is created in you. It's not the Chetana. You didn't intend to do. Because of the interest, the intention happened.
So when I say Panati Pat Veramani Sikha Padam,
Samadhiyami.
I am building that interest.
Yes. You are first interested in Panati Pata Veramani. Veramani is not to entertain. So you first get interested in not doing that. Now you see what else we can do. Number one, Chandamulaka Avaso Sabbe Dhamma. So you have interest in non-killing. Manasikara Sambhava Sabbe Dhamma. So now you make up your mind, right? That I will not do this. So you give that attention.
Kamesu Michachara. Ab tak jo whatever discussed now, uska antidote is Kamesu Michachara.
Correct. Kameshu Michachara. And you will stop doing that. Why? Because it leads to Vimukti Sara. What's the essence? The essence is Vimukti. Right? So on the negative, on the wrong side of the root is Ayoniso Manasikara, unthoughtful reflection.
So from here there are two ways. Like one is also Sambhog se Samadhi. You completely get involved this way of Samadhi and realize that there is nothing. Or you set the intention, Kamesu Michachara, and create this way of Samadhi.
Which is Michcha Samadhi. Got it? But whichever route, whatever you take, the Chanda, interest is the Mula.
Interest is the Mula. Okay. So setting intention is actually setting Chanda.
Yes. So when somebody motivates you, like we all met in Shravasti, was it intention or was it interest? It was the interest on Dhamma which created the intention to go to Shravasti.
And why some guided meditation works is also that. Yes. Because someone just told, now it is in my mind.
Correct.
For that timing, it is in my interest. Now it goes away.
So before it goes away, it goes through this 9-step process. So you will first get the interest, then you get into the Manasikara, attention.
The whole Dhamma is developed and then it is diminishing.
Then it will go away. Clear? So that is how it works. So that was the first question. What's the second question? You have, or did I answer all the questions?
No. The second question was totally different topic. That in Chula Sunnata Sutta, you asked some guy, did you experience the timelessness? Only that question was there. There was no explanation, but nobody answered. And I was also see. I can visualize the space. I can visualize the limitless space, but I can imagine what is timelessness and experience. Also, you said one clue you have given us. You cannot feel the rising and passing away, something like that. But it goes above me.
No, very simple. What is time? When we say time, what it includes? It includes past, present, and future. That's called time. For that, you require something called as solidity. Okay? Without solid, there's nothing called as time, because you need to see that. And also, it requires an arising of aspect of it and a departing aspect of it to say that, now this is Suryodaya.
Change is time.
Change is time. Changeless doesn't have time. So when we go into infinite space, if it is done properly, you will not have time.
Okay, so because only four elements are related to time.
Correct.
Space is not related to time.
Space doesn't have time.
Yeah, because it doesn't change.
It doesn't change. The space is space. It's infinite. See, you see, everything is finite. So, Akasha Ananchayatana. Ananta is there. Anta, Anta. Endless. If something is endless, how can you put a time factor to that?
Got it. So if you are feeling the time, then you are not in space.
You're not in space. So you're imagining space. That is okay. But you're not experiencing space. Same thing. Vinyananchayatana. So it is endless consciousness or infinite consciousness. Akinchayatana. Akincha. Not even a little. In the ayatanas, there's a nothing, no objects are there in the ayatana, which is again endless.
We can say akinchana anantayatana.
No.
But still it is infinite.
No. What happens here is, why he has not used that is because there should be something to experience. There's nothing to experience.
Okay, infinite is also a measurement.
Infinite, when you say it's a measuring, something to measure. Now there is nothing to measure. There are no objects. And hence, you are awakened sleep. You are awake.
So the chitta is totally free from objects. Till now, infinite consciousness was the object. Before that, infinite space was the object.
Correct.
Before that, your meditation object, dhatu or whatever, was the object.
Correct.
Now, slowly, from one object, one grosser object to subtlest object, then no object.
Then no object. So now you come into the 8th jhana, which is awakened sleep. You're sleeping, but you're awakened. You can't say you're alive. You can't say you're dead. You can't say I am sleeping. You can't say I'm not sleeping.
So I was thinking like that. So even though there is no object is also hold.
Correct.
When that is dropped.
Right. Like
when holding drops, so sanya is dropped.
Correct.
So there is no, you cannot say there is nothing. You cannot say there is not nothing.
Correct. So that's the reason it's called neva sanya na sanya ayatana.
So you have dropped, let's say my hand, there was object I was holding. Object is dropped, but still hand is there. Now hand is dropped. Something like that.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah, so that was my small question related to that.
So now you see this fun, like what Naveen was saying, that his teacher told that it is Turiya. He's perfectly right. So Jagratavastha, Swapnavastha, Shushupti, Turiya, 4 states. Jagratavastha is what we are right now, with all the 5 senses opened up and the 6th sense is doing everything else. So the Jagratavastha. When you close the eyes, you suddenly let go of this, and you are taken into a random dream world, which is the Swapnavastha. Then you come into Shushupti. This is where the 8th jhana with ignorance is. So in Vedanta, you only have 8 jhanas. Clear?
Turyavastha.
So the Turyavastha ends, and that's it. So they don't know anything beyond that. There's nothing
Beyond Turyavastha.
beyond Turyavastha, because now you feel that, oh, I am awakened. Yes, you are awakened in that reality, which you are born in that reality, but not released from that reality.
Yeah. Maximum you can be Mahabrahma.
Yes, maximum you can be Mahabrahma, because
That is Atman Brahman concept.
1 minute. So that's how it is. So the 9th jhana is perfect voidness. It's void of feeling, it's void of perception. Shunyata. This is where the Buddhists who were there, who were Mahayana Buddhists in India at the time of Shankaracharya, could not explain what is this Shunyata. And hence, Shankaracharya was able to defeat all the Buddhists at that time, because they couldn't explain.
Or they were not even in that state.
They were not in that state, so they couldn't really explain what really it is, because they were also doing 8 jhanas. So they were also in Turiya, he is also in Turiya. So then what are you talking about? You're just imagining a voidness which doesn't have any void. Anyway, so that's another topic, but that's what it is.
Okay.
Okay, that's it then. So then we can end if we are done.
Yeah.
Fine. Then enjoy your afternoon.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So shall we meet in the evening, or we are done, right? We don't have.
No, this is done.
This is done, right? Okay, fine then. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Yeah.